Good morning, class. We go a step ahead from the last class which we had taken. In the last class, this was the method we had done for drawing the tangents. That was method number 1. And what was this method was when the point is on the circle, how to draw a tangent. So I hope you remember it. What we had done was we connected that point to the center, extended it, and then drew a perpendicular at that point. This was method number 1 for drawing a tangent at a point on the circle by using the center. Today, we will use a second method, or we will do a second method, that is to draw a tangent to a circle at a point without using the center. That is, we will not be using the center. So to make things easier, I will draw a circle using any round object so that I don't know where the center of the circle lies. So let us say I have this circle and I have taken a point A on it, and now I want to draw tangent at point A but without using the center. So the principle that we follow is we divide this circle into two parts by drawing a chord. So let us say I draw a chord AB. Now you can see this chord AB has divided the circle into two parts, and these parts are called segments. This is a smaller segment, so it's called a minor segment. This one is a bigger segment, hence called major segment. So the principle that we will be using here is that an angle which is made in minor segment will be equal to an angle made in the major segment. So this is the principle that we will be using. And the method that we will be using is the one which we have learned earlier, that is making congruent angles without using a protractor. So how do we go about doing this? As you can read the question says draw a circle of any radius. So I use a bangle to draw a radius. Take a point P on it. I have labeled it A. Let's just change it to P. So let us say I have taken a point P on it, and now I have to draw a tangent at P without using the center. So what's the first step? We divide the circle into two parts. These are called the segments, a minor segment and a major segment. And the principle that we use is that an angle which is made in a minor segment will be equal to the angle made in a major segment. So what we do is in the next step is we make a angle. Before that, I will just highlight this chord using a red color just to make you understand what I am speaking about, right? So let us say this is the chord of reference. Now, I want to make an angle here. So using a scale and a pencil of any measure, I just draw an angle. No need to measure anything, no measure required. Just use your scale and make an angle. So now you can see we got an angle A. So now we know that this angle A will be equal to one angle at P on this side. And so we will get one more point, and when we join these two, we will get a tangent. So let's start. Now how do we do this? I have to make an angle at P which is equal to angle A. So what we do is we keep the pointer at A, and any measure we make an arc, right? Now we lift it, we keep it on P, and from this red line or the red chord that we have made, we make an arc. We have done this method for drawing congruent angles without using a protractor. Same method we are doing. Next step is we measure this angle. So I keep the pointer on the first point, pencil on the second. So I got the measure of this angle. Now same thing I do is I keep it on this point and I cut an arc. So you see I got 2 points, and when I join these 2 points, I will get my tangent at the required point P. So now this line L is a tangent at point P. So this is the simple method, a very easy method to do and construct a tangent at a point without using the center. So what was the method? Just let's revise first. The point that we require, we draw a chord. And now the principle that we use is that the angle made on this side of the chord will be equal to angle made on the other side of the chord. So using a scale, we make one angle A. Then using a rounder, we measure it, keeping the pointer on P. Again, we make an arc, measure the angle, cut an arc to get our line L, which is a tangent at point P, right? So let's do one more sum for practice of the same method. Now, as the question says, draw a circle of any radius. Let's say I'm just changing the radius. I'm just using the things that are available to me at home. Let's say I'm using a lid of a tiffin box. Now I've used a pen so that the drawing is dark and you can see it properly. Now what it says is draw a circle of any radius, and then it says draw a chord AB. Measurement of the chord AB is not given. So what we do is just roughly we draw any chord AB. And what it says is draw tangent at A and B without using the center. That means here we have to draw tangents at both the points A and B. Now, as again you can see, this chord AB has divided the circle into two parts, a minor segment and a major segment. And what our principle says, that the angle made in the minor segment will be equal to angle made in the major segment. So again we repeat our procedure. We draw an angle in the major segment. Any measure just using the scale and the pencil, we just join it anywhere in the circle. So you can see I got an angle C. Now again I will just darken the chord that we have with red color so you can see the angle that, now once you have this chord, you can see the angle that we should measure should not touch this chord. So you can see angle C is an angle which is not touching this chord. So this is the angle that we should measure. So again, keeping the pointer on C, we cut an arc of any measure, keep it on A, and we cut an arc from the chord. You should always remember that the arc should start from the chord, not from inside, not from this side, but from the chord, which is from where we have to measure the angle. Next, keep the pointer on one point, pencil on the other. We have measured it. We keep it on this and cut an point. So we got one more point along with A. So you see we have 2 points and we can draw our tangent at point A. So I got my first tangent at A. Now the similar process we will do for tangent at B. Now again, the tangent at B, I want to make an angle this side. So the other angle which I should measure for this point also should not touch this chord. That means it becomes again angle C. That means using one angle, I can draw two different tangents. So again, I am keeping my pointer on C. I am measuring again the same measure of an chord. Keep the pointer at B. Again from the chord, I make an arc. Right? Then measure this angle properly. Keeping your pointer on this arc and cut an arc. So again we got 2 points, one B and this point. And when we connect these 2 points, I will have my required tangent at B. So you can see chord is here. One angle is on the left hand side of the chord and the angles that we made are on the right hand side of the chord. These two angles can never be on the same side of the chord. That is the precaution that you have to take. And using one angle, you can definitely make two tangents on the same side, one at A and one at B, right? So you can see here also, it becomes clear that when the point is on the circle, you can make only one tangent. So you can see we have one tangent at A, one tangent at B. So this is the method how a tangent can be constructed without using the center. Thank you.